Alright, people, there's been a lot of hype about this video that I put out, saying that the animals were fearful, that it was abusive, and just, in general, going off. So I'm going to walk you through this. Now, first, I want to point out, this is not normally how they are fed. Normally, they're lined up, they sit quietly, they do so with a hand signal, and they're given their meat. I set them up specifically for failure, in order to demonstrate what a sneeze growl is. A sneeze growl is a way of letting them know that they have pushed the point too far. They understand it, they respect it, it causes no harm, there's no physical damage to them, but it definitely gets the point across. And that was the sole purpose of this. You know, I have a female that's in heat. I have excited animals because they had been in the kennel for 2 hours while I went shopping and got their meat because we had ran out the day before. And so I set them up to misbehave. Now, normally, under this circumstance, it wouldn't require a sneeze growl. As far as, taking the meat, I could have just put my nose to her nose and gave her the look, when I'm talking about Belle, the big female in the background. And she'd ended up letting go of the meat. But I was demonstrating what a sneeze growl is, because of the fact that it is very effective in letting them know, hey, I've had enough. You're not taking me seriously. And, it's no different than scolding your child severely. Letting them know you really screwed up this time. That's what it is. So, we're going to go through this because people say that my babies are afraid. And for those of you that obviously don't know body language, alright, here's Wahea. I'm about to give her a touch. And she didn't care about the touch. She's still wagging her tail. And she still wants close to the meat. And now she's going to try to convince me that she's cute enough that she should get the meat. And she lays down because I growled. Now notice the tail's still going. Her feet are kicking. She's wiggling. Alright, right there. Right there. If that animal was afraid, okay, I just threw a good strong energy at her. Or a bad strong energy, however you want to put it. I gave her, I pushed her a little bit with my foot, which was not a kick. I slid her a little bit. Clapped my hands, gave a loud command, and moved in on her in an aggressive manner. If that animal was afraid, anybody who has dealt with fearful animals, she would have curled up, cowered, or she would have split because she would have been worried that I was going to kick her. An animal that has been kicked knows if they're going to get kicked, or if they even think they're going to get kicked, they don't stick around. Now watch. She's still happy. And she's still wiggling. She still wants to play. She's not taking me seriously. So I growl at her. And look at the tail go. Not between her legs. She's not afraid. She understood what I just said. And no, tail wagging doesn't always mean that they're happy. But I'm telling you, a fearful animal will always tuck their tail. Their tail tucks hard underneath their body. They get tense. I mean, you can see it in their face and every bit of action. She's still just being goofy, hormonal puppy. She happens to be the one that's in heat, which is why she's being as goofy as she is. See? So I scolded her. I let her know, in her own words, and no, it's not words, but in her own language, I'm serious, I've had enough. She didn't take offense to that. She got the point, and she gets up and she goes over and she waits quietly in her kennel where she's supposed to for her meat. She's like, okay, Mom, fine. And there she is, peeking out, waiting. Okay, look at me, I'm doing what I'm supposed to. And then she wants to come back in because the puppy moved in. But she knows she's going to get her meat if she goes and sits quietly, and that's just what she did. Now, here's Anarchy. And he is 4 months old, going on 5 months. He'll actually be 5 months old tomorrow on the date that I'm making this video right now where I'm talking. But again, there's no fear. Even Obi, ears back, that's not fear. That is respect. Just like Anarchy just approached his dad, ears back, head low, that is a sign of love and respect. That is not a fearful animal. Now he's going to mess up in a second, which is again why I set this up. And it's to demonstrate the growl. They're all a little bit confused because normally they sit quietly and I give them the meat. But you can't just go and growl for no good reason. So unfortunately, yes, they were guinea pigs in this. They got set up to demonstrate what this growl is that I was trying to explain to people. There, again, okay. I'm going to rewind that. And if you look, it's a quick, it's not a hard. You know, there was no force behind it. It was very fast. But it needs to be, just like a snap. If they snap at each other, they don't do it in slow motion. They don't ask, you know, well, you know, you shouldn't have done that. No, they go, ah! And that's all that was. And it wasn't a bite. It was just a very fast touch. So I'm going to back that up. No, back it up just a little more. Hopefully this video doesn't stop. My camera has a tendency to shut down. Now if you watch, I wish I knew how to do this in slow motion, but I don't. It's a quick touch to the side of his neck. Alright, there again. Now if you look at him, you know, hopefully you have this on big screen and you can go back and look. A scared animal will have ears up, ears, yes, you know, ears can be pinned back, but the eyes get wide. They curl in on themselves. I've dealt with fearful animals, you know, and no, this isn't a method you would use with a fearful animal. That's a completely different thing. You know, these animals were just being disrespectful. They have no fear of me, of anybody in the house, and so therefore it does work. It does get the point across. You know, and once again, this was to demonstrate, you know, the growl. Now, if you look at Anarchy over there, he doesn't care. He's not upset about it. I mean, yes, he put his foot over his, maybe I paused in a bad spot. He put his foot over his face, but he's not overly upset. And I wish my honey would have kept the camera on him more. There we go. Tail's out. He's still laying there. Yes, he peed. But urinating is a way of communicating. You know, especially when you're dealing with wolf dogs. And even other dogs. You know, other dogs will use urination in communicating. If Dad walks by this guy and, you know, gives him the look, you know, or even if he doesn't, you know, sometimes Anarchy will run up and he licks at his dad's mouth and he pisses all over the place. It's communicating. He is not afraid. You know, his body's not drawn in, his tail's not tucked. He got reprimanded and he's like, okay, he's not too concerned about it. You watch him, yeah, he's like, okay, fine. Now he's looking at his pee, you know. And he's looking around. That's not a fearful animal. If you understand animal body language, you would understand the cues. I mean, even if you look at the eyebrows, you know, which you can't see in this video, but if you watch in the other video, a fearful animal will get this very intense look on their face, and the eyebrows get concerned. The eyebrows will go up and down, one and the other, one and the other. And it's a concerned look. He's not concerned. He just walked over and now he's trying to steal Journey's chicken. Now she's very shy, and I have to be very gentle with her. And the growling was directed at him, not her. And she knew that, but she's a delicate little thing. She's a sweetheart. You know, very gentle. She's not quite sure why I took her out of the kennel, which I did that to get him out. And he's Mr. Drama Queen. So if I reached in and grabbed his collar to walk him out, he might have had himself a little temper tantrum. So I just brought her out. And that's why she was kind of concerned, because she likes to eat in her kennel. That was done right there strictly just to show that they understand the growl.